Let's bring in California Republican Congressman Darrell Issa, a member of the House Judiciary Committee and House Foreign Affairs Committee. It doesn't stop at $6. I saw one gas station in California, at least one, that's up around $8 a gallon right now for premium unleaded. Congressman, what about the governor's plan to hand out $400 rebate cards or debit cards to motor vehicle owners in California? What do you think of that?
Well, based on the past performance of just the last couple of years, the Folsom prisoners will probably end up with a lot of that money. They did well in unemployment. The fact is that there's no proportional relationship between registered vehicles and fuel consumption. What Republicans have said repeatedly is take the highest in the nation tax, rebate that by taking it off at the pump, and that way the delivery truck, the Uber driver, gets the same benefit based on his or her business model. That's really what you need. You don't need something where you get $400 even if your car isn't driving. As a matter of fact, probably get $400 even if you have an electric car. So eliminate fraud, reduce the price. But I'll tell you something, we also could get rid of our boutique formulas that make us another 50 cents to $1 higher than any other state, and that would be a temporary suspension that would lower the cost of refining. Having said that, they're not going to do it. This is just California, and if we miss an opportunity, we do it every time.
The president has called these price hikes Putin's price hikes. I want to play for you some of what the president has had to say. Well, this regarding some of the things that he's had to say that the White House has had to go back and clarify. Listen.
If chemical weapons were used in Ukraine, would that trigger a military response from NATO?
It would trigger a response in kind.
So, you know, with the Ukrainian people have a lot of backbone. They have a lot of guts, and I'm sure you're observing it. And you're going to see when you're there.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
That second remark, you're going to see it when you're there, was made to the 82nd Airborne, seemingly suggesting that American troops were going into Ukraine. Give us your assessment of the president's performance thus far.
Well, he seems to be making Reagan speeches while the White House are giving Carter denials. I just hope that they know who's got the football with the nuclear codes. Is it the one who's going to war or the one that isn't going to war? It really is concerning because these are the kinds of mixed messages, I believe, that allowed Putin to think that he could go in and take Ukraine without any real response. We have to change that. We have to have a consistency of what we say here, what the president says there, and what our allies can count on. And right now, we just don't have that consistency.
Why is the president not releasing federal lands to drilling, for instance? Why not reopen the Keystone Pipeline, do some things like that? One country that can provide oil almost at the drop of the hat is Saudi Arabia, and so far they have rebuffed any efforts from the administration, to pump more oil. Why?
Well, one of the reasons is they actually have a limited surge capability of not enough to fully offset Russia. But the other part is they're looking at us. This president didn't just take federal lands off of drilling. He also defunded the industry in a great way. He sent absolute messages that it was not a good investment, that you would not get a good return. And so the funding, particularly for LNG exports, dried up just at a time when we have permitted liquefied natural gas facilities, plenty of capacity, but we've got to sell it. We already have all the natural gas we want to consume, but the natural gas that could be heading for Europe to offset the greatest tool that Russia has, which is its natural gas pipelines, are sitting there waiting to be funded. And that's a good example where all he'd have to do is that $100 billion or so of investment, encourage it to get turned on or come to Congress for loan guarantees, and you would see us as an exporter of natural gas exceeding what Russia currently supplies. That would change the game in a matter of a year or two. But at the same time, we were exporting oil, we're now not exporting oil. That's the reason for the price increase, whether it comes from Putin or it comes from Saudi Arabia or it comes from Venezuela. The fact is, if we produce it domestically, we can drive down the price. That's what happened in the last administration.
Congressman Darrell Issa, Republican of California. Congressman, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.